especially on those tight corners. But now it's the last pick of BREN Esports. It's a Fredrin and it's Ililia.
Okay.
Man, BREN Esports wants to fight as a 5-man unit. You maximize that taunt. You maximize the Fatal Links. If you layer the Atlas and the Fredrin correctly, that Melissa and Lilia is going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this Masha pick, though.
The Masha pick really threw off the draft here for BREN. That means that they are willing to split up. They want to go and just separate as much as possible from each other.
Yeah, that's divide and conquer.
For Omega, yeah.
For Omega. But this gives them more confidence, Renmar, to attack the lineup of BREN Esports.
Yep, divide and conquer is a good approach, but at the same time, if BREN Esports aren't careful, if they use the go-away ultimate of the Melissa too early, that's going to be a sign for Renjo. I'm going to go straight for you. One Thunderclap can destroy that Melissa in the late game, but that isn't the team fight idea. BREN, I like what you two mentioned, wherein Omega drafted the lineup that has a good option for divide and conquer. They don't necessarily need to fight all the fights. Take it to the face of BREN Esports, they can split the map really well.
You just have to be careful of that Renebomb, you know? That Renebomb Masha, that's going to blow up in your face.
Yeah.
If you don't watch out for it.
That's true.
There were one thing that we could expect here is because there's a lot of surprise that we can see on the first day of Week 8. It's BREN Esports and Smart Omega. It's the battle on the to get themselves on the upper bracket.
That's right. And you will be surprised if you watch. There you go.
Yeah.
It's surprising.
Yeah, and now it's the awesome valid prediction brought to you by Samsung. Who will deal more hero damage in this game? It's the Counter Super Mario. We have 4 seconds with the hashtag Samsung, and Samsung always wins. Go ahead.
A little help to that. Remember, Melissa does a lot of AoE damage with Muddles. So think about that when you're talking about DPS. But if you're confident about Kelra's Clint, you know, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's why I think Kelra is confident to go up against a Melissa as a Clint. Just really needs to make sure he doesn't get linked up to Muddles as often. And there's a good chance, depending on positioning, Clint does have a great chance to go up against a Melissa and get an edge over it. It's very 50-50 though, in terms of who actually wins that.
That's true. The Clint has great single target damage.
Yeah, even early game.
Especially early game, you got good advantages. You got mobility.
Yeah.
But then again, you gotta... everyone's like thinking about the late game team fight, right?
Yeah.
Even the panel was talking about it.
And since we're talking about late game team fighting capability, sometimes it just checks out on Omega, on their personality, on how they want to carry the game. Yeah, personality. Yeah, and for BREN Esports, they've been doing really well and getting into the playoffs. Oh man, BREN Esports is back in the playoffs.
That's something.
It's great for them. The investment has paid off. The patience. And Chaknu, bad spot here.
Chaknu, man. He has to really try to save that flicker, but in the end, BREN will force it out of him. He did have enough patience to wait until the very last boom of the Lilia. Right now, oh man, fights erupting everywhere here so far. Pandora again maximizing damage from the Appraiser's Wrath. No gray health means that won't really do that much. Right now, Pandora might be in trouble with the Feather Airstrike. Etamax deciding to save the flicker. He could have gone for the kill, but didn't want to go for it. And maybe they want to go for this Lord, but again, it will be to the sacrifice of few.
All right,
how is Renjo doing this? He's not his comfort hero, but now it's Ryzen secures the turtle for Smart Omega. A great peel and a great kill. This is Omega taking
that was a bit of a wasted sacrifice there for Few. Trying to zone off as much as he can, thinking that his teammate's going to get the turtle, but apparently Omega's still able to steal it away.
Yeah, that wall that Chaknu gave onto the area, Renmore.
Yeah, great zone out, and at the same time, great patience by the side of Omega to be patient, hold their position as long as possible, trust that BREN Esports won't have the damage. Yes, Ogwen was there, literally standing in front of them, readying up the chains. He was only able to get one, but Omega knew even if he lands that on us, no one would be able to follow up because BREN is focused on the turtle. Omega made the most out of it, took the turtle away.
And this is one thing that BREN Esports needs to think about, because there's Chaknu, there's Renjo, and that's one pick from BREN Esports.
Yeah. Ogwen very happy to go for that one-man Fatal Links. Good damage output from BREN Esports. Takes down Chaknu. Etamax is out as well. It's going to be a pretty rough defense for Ryzen, but BREN decides to kind of sway towards the gold lane because they know that Kelra is a very big threat later on.
Yep, let's see how much gold BREN Esports can maximize out of that shield. Seems like it won't be a lot. Chakno already on the way up top to help defend BREN Esports. That's what Omega needs to be careful of. The surprise setups of Master Blaster Ogwin.
Yeah, luckily for Omega here, no turtle to take for BREN Esports.
Yeah, talking about the surprises of BREN Esports, just going through the challenge of Smart Omega right now. One thing that I'm looking forward to is how will they separate Renjo and Chaknu onto those gangs and even ambushes?
Yeah. You're thinking about that, and again, we've seen a little bit of a battle plan here, right? Owen can just Fatal Links anybody, and he's probably going to go down with good DPS from Few. If you have like 5 charges, and then you Black Shoes in, you're going to get another 5 charges, so that's a lot of DPS from Lilia.
It's just mines blowing up
everywhere.
Non-stop. Yeah. So Omega needs to be careful. They don't have a Purify. Here comes Ogwen again.
You don't want to stick around too much for Ogwen. And again, it's really hard for Omega, if you think about it.
Yeah, and you saw like the moment Ogwen already used the perfect match, Omega was like, oh, split up. We can't stay together so close to each other with Ogwen using his second skill. Because again, don't forget, even without the second skill, Ogwen can literally just flicker in, use the ultimate, no purifies on the side of Omega.
Oh, great placement of Chakno, just putting that wall just to reset the turtle.
Yeah, great.
Buys time for Omega.
Look at that, Ryzen even got the grab point.
That was a cheeky movement there for Ryzen, of course. Feeling very confident against Kyle Teasy, who is usually very good with the Retribution.
No.
Although it is difficult to fight straight on against a lethal counter Retri.
It's a face-off.
It is going to be a face-off. Ito maps with Feather Airstrike. It sets up the fight. Kyle Teasy has enough DPS to take out the turtle. Chases on. Super Marco trying to get that DPS in. Just not quite there yet.
Yeah, great positioning there by BREN Esports. That turtle was almost reset by Chaknu again with the Guardian's Barrier, but funnily enough, it was literally on the edge of the circle, so no reset there. You saw Ryzen coming in from the top, almost being able to get a great angle to steal the turtle away, but it was great play by Super Marco, literally right beside Kyle Teasy. He sent out Muddles, and it was a sign for Ryzen to back off. He couldn't get a good contest against that turtle. In terms of the items, you'll already see a Hunter Strike on the side of the Paquito. Already 2 items built up by Super Marco. Has the Windtalker, has the Berserker's Fury. So Omega needs to watch out for this Melissa. Meanwhile, for their Clint, only the Endless Battle so far.
Yeah, one thing that we're looking forward to, now that you mentioned all of the skill set of the heroes of BREN Esports, there's a lot of mousetraps that they can actually do against Omega. Because one thing that they need to do is to either take Chaknu out on the team fights, because one thing that he does is like, he has a lot of, he has initiating capabilities to just take on one, even for few.
That's the thing, you need that initiation from Chaknu to take out Super Marco, because here, normally, the way you take out, for example, Atlas, you gotta gang up on it. You gotta group together and go for the attack. But the problem is you can't do that because of the amount of AoE that BREN has. So it's counterintuitive. You need to gang up to kill this guy, but you can't gang up, right? Because you're gonna get taken out.
Well, speaking of taking out, Enjo has his Guardian Helmet right now. It gives him additional, another chance of like peeling one from BREN Esports, because we were talking about the burst damage. Look at that, Few and Ryzen forced to use the Black Shoes.
I love the aggressiveness here from Few. He is very calculated. He's a very calculated player. He knows he can do these things right in front of a tower and will be fine.
Well, Few is the idol of the children.
The idol of the children.
Yeah, in Philippine esports.
That's correct syntax as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
as we say it in English.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it didn't get reset.
Oh boy, that's a problem. This is a free turtle now for BREN Esports.
Wow.
Oh, a rare Chaknu blunder there in your faces.
Yeah. It just feel like a blunder to me. That is what in the Philippines we call malas.
That was
bad luck there.
Bad luck, yeah.
That's a second turtle in a row that didn't get reset by a great placement of a Guardian's Barrier.
Yeah.
Credits also to the control of Kyle Teasy positioning himself so it doesn't get reset. Kyle Teasy, by the way, just picked up the Malefic Roar, so that's a lot of physical penetration on the side of Paquito. Omega needs to be careful with the burst damage coming out of the BREN jungler.
Yeah, watch out. Don't be so salam. You know, that's how the pro players say it. They salam.
Salam.
You guys know salam? It's really,
it's the reversed word of malas.
Yes.
Because salam means something else in a different language.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, we like to reverse things.
We reverse unlucky to yakalakun.
Yeah. It's an esports thing.
That's difficult, Rockhard. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I'm trying
the reverse of unlucky.
Gotta teach me that.
Oh, goodness me. Chaknu again. Caught out, forced to use the flicker to save his life.
Yeah.
That means they have to back off. They have to give the turret now.
Yeah. He he was about to go in the frigid breath of Ogwin.
Yep. And that's what we're talking about here now with BREN Esports having a comfortable item lead for their Paquito.
Talk about salam.
Yeah, very salam. It's going to be difficult for Chapnu to get into the position he wants. BREN Esports, ever since MPL Philippines Season 7, this is how they played against Chapnu. As much as possible, they want to get an early lead for their roamer, great burst in their jungle, so that Chapnu won't be able to position. And that was a good example of BREN Esports showing Omega, Chapnu, you got to be careful where you position yourself. You got to have E2 Max and more damage nearby because we're not going to hesitate to burst you down so you won't be able to give information and positional advantage for Omega. That's what Omega likes to play around. The vision and the positional advantage Chaknu gets. See, more pressure.
Oh, Ogwen gets one, but Chaknu responds in with a wild charge, but Super Marco just taken down the Mamba.
Just like that.
Oh, man. Mamba's having a really bad day here.
Yep.
BREN is, it's like, okay, you're a Grok. I'm not afraid of you. I'm going to do damage to you. Then you're going to back off, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's how you guys put it. BREN Esports just totally bought a volcano and just poured down lava against Omega. This is the problem.
We didn't say those exact words, but that's what we meant. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
just putting it on this game. Ladies and gentlemen, BREN Esports has a volcano setting up lava, but now Omega just needs to have that enough defense to literally step on fire.
Yeah.
Hot.
All I can say right now is Omega cannot catch a break.
Yep.
They cannot catch a break in these team fights, despite the kill score being very close. It's obvious that BREN has more crowd control. They have more kill potential.
Yep.
They're threatening the players of Omega, and they cannot answer back. At least for now.
Yeah.
Maybe later on when Kelra gets a little bit more beefier.
One thing we have to consider, the gold advantage for BREN Esports, not that massive. Omega is still very much in the range of being able to completely turn the game around if BREN Esports aren't careful. But with a feathered airstrike already committed by E2 Max in the mid, let's see if BREN Esports will readjust and put more members around the Lord. Yes, they will. How hard are they going to commit into this? Ryzen is still there. Ryzen can still contest.
You really want to do this.
Yeah, who would get this first Lord? Could be a massive push, but Owen with the flicker gets one.
Again, just one man Fatal Links is not a problem. Ryzen and Chaknu is in trouble. Chaknu goes down. Itomax as well off camera there. And beautifully done here is Omega.
Kudos there to what BREN Esports just did. That was a perfect engagement. They knew Ryzen would get caught off guard.
Omega for the jungler.
Yeah, Ogwen committed that flicker, but Kyle TZ, instead of joining that fight, he went straight to where E2 Max was, taking away a great damage option on the side of Omega. Omega couldn't contest there. That was beautifully executed by BREN.
So surprisingly, BREN Esports just... It's like they can read Omega's minds right now.
Yeah.
Well said.
This is how they wanted to counter the unpredictability character of Omega. Yes, they have the capability of a late game, but now it seems like they're just putting up so many hurdles onto the barangay on even to get one from these two. Because yes, the hero now of Ogwen could be predictable, but that's the case.
Yeah.
They're literally separating the strong capability of Etomax and Chaknu.
Basically, Omega can't make Korma, you know? They can't get the fighting stance here.
Yeah.
And that's throwing off Omega so much.
Yeah. And
different challenge.
Wow, beautiful. That was a great try from Chaknu to take out Super Marco, but fails in the end. Again, flickers out to safety. The Lord is walking up straight into the base. And that is a big problem. Again, Omega cannot respond.
Well, speaking of problem, look at that. Kyle TZ took the lesson of securing the back door for themselves, but he gained a push there, splitting the direction of Omega and Mark.
Wow, BREN Esports are playing this so clean, and you see Omega struggling to play up against this Atlas. They know that one big mistake in their positioning could cost them this game at this point. And the BREN Esports have so many tools for zoning out for their backline. Super Marco has Muddles. You also have Pandora in the backline for BREN Esports. However, it's Pandora usually messing up the backline of Omega. Kyle TZ knows his job well. Omega just know because of their lineup being focused so much on the positioning of E2 Max as that Farsa and Kelra as well, they have so much to take care of that BREN Esports, it's so easy for them to initiate a team fight because if they catch Omega off guard, it's so easy to punish them. Omega are looking for the picture-perfect set.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. We've seen Shaknu try over and over again. And by the way, look at that gold swing. It's now around 6,000, road to 7,000. Not to mention Omega, no map control at all.
Yeah, that's the one thing that they're lack of, the macro movement on how to attack. BREN Esports!
Oh,
Gwen!
into Itomax.
Not catching anyone!
Beautifully done there. Again, still good defensive capabilities from Omega. We got Shaknu from the back.
The Mamba.
But he might be way too late. Ryzen is low. He's in the bad position right now. Gets taken out by Super Marco, and now the Grok is getting chased down by BREN Esports. Oh my goodness. Again, it's just like dominoes falling here side of Omega.
Melissa, we're starting to see why Melissa has been favored so much by teams now versus Black International picked it up for OM. It hurts.
My goodness.
And it's so hard to catch it once she pops off her ultimate. You literally have to go away. You can't get close to it, and it ruins your momentum in a team fight. Speaking of ruining the momentum, Ogwen wasn't able to completely catch Itomax with the Fatal Links, but he did his job. Because Ogwen's job is simple. If you're not going to catch Kellra and Itomax, do one thing. Interrupt the ultimate. With the Feathered Airstrike gone, Omega loses so much.
Yeah, it's the peel. It's the answer of Omega that they can do for BREN Esports. But if they do that, either they sacrifice one. Because right now, I see Super Marco as Lilo and Stitch in one. How deadly is that?
Exactly right.
Lilo and Stitch!
That is scary. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
They get one!
I know, Shaknu again. Cannot catch a break. I mean, there's just no other way to say it, bro.
Yeah.
The observations are clear here. Shaknu, he's trying so hard to go for that picture-perfect 3-man, 4-man, wild charge into a wall knockup. Just not happening. And I feel for him, man. This is just starting to look like a wash here for Omega.
Yeah, BREN Esports just really respecting what the hero lineup of Omega can deal with. They're making the right calls. Let's be aggressive. Let's force them to use their abilities. Yes, Ogwen can use his ultimates, but few will always be there to catch her up. BREN Esports everything is just snapping well together for them. Everything is syncing together for them. They know what their jobs are very clearly. Kellra's getting zoned out. Pandora's helping a great job holding the front line. Ogwen is doing a great job bothering Shaknu and Itomax, while Super Marco and Few are just focused on staying alive, which is easy for them now at this point.
Okay.
Because BREN Esports are doing a great job of zoning out for their backline.
The free lane push.
Itomax is trying to burst one, but Few has used the black shoes. We were talking about how BREN Esports developed growth from seasons. Now we're just seeing them how they fully went through the challenges.
Yeah, even with the Guardian's Barrier right now, there's just no defense for Omega. Lord will get taken out, but
this is getting hard.
This inhib turret is going to fall as well.
Ogwen.
BREN Esports wants to go for the set.
Open.
It's a fake. It's a fake from Ogwen. He actually just wants to do DPS. He's protecting Super Marco. Guardian's Barrier is up. It looks like Itomax again is the target. Every time you activate that Feathered Airstrike, he is the one getting the damage. But Ogwen gets his immortality. There's one charge. Finally finds 2, maybe 3, but not really enough DPS on the side. Look at that Appraiser's Wrath. Damage onto the Forza, and he will get taken out.
With no Feathered Airstrike and a massive gold lead for BREN Esports, a massive item advantage, Omega looked like they were able to find the turnaround, but they just did not have the resources.
This is now the problem of Omega. How do you defend the base? Right now, they're clearly trying to get their hands to pick off one.
Yeah, they
Pandora is just totally playing.
One-man army.
One-man army.
Kellra is burning up!
They opened the Pandora's box and it's pandemonium! Ladies and gentlemen, Super Marco is at the back. He's very healthy. And the rest of BREN, they're trying to clear the minion waves. They want to make that pickoff happen. One more down for Omega could be it. But looks like Captain Itomax will spawn just in time to clean up these waves.
Oh, watch out for Ogwen. Doesn't have the flicker though.
Ogwen again looking for Itomax. Just threatened out the Forza. And again, Itomax, no ultimate, did not help the fight. There's a 2-man Fatal Link. Finally takes out Ryzen in the end. Super Marco very healthy. They go straight for the base and they take the win.
BREN Esports just got one for the barangay, not giving any chance for the late game capability of the team.
This is fire right now. They are playing with all of the volcano embers. I don't know how to input that volcano thing, but yes, that's exactly
lava.
what it feels like.
Yeah, it's like the movie of the volcano. It's lava. right in front of you. How do you manage to step your foot in lava?
Yeah. Funnily enough, it's lava, but it's more like dry ice. Because literally it was just the Atlas.
Oh, yeah.
The frigid breath, yes.
Constantly diving E2max's Farsa. Again, we're reminded as to why, for a lot of us, Farsa is hard to go. It's difficult to go up against Atlas if you're a Farsa, hard to position. Usually we see pro players position really well. E2max was positioning well, but Ogun was just like, I don't care, man. I'm gonna put myself in a dangerous position.
I will flicker in your face.
Yeah, I will flicker in your face. I will interrupt you over and over again. If Ogwen ends up becoming the MVP here, I won't be surprised. He set the tempo for the game. But another X factor here that I think Wolf will expound more